Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Horde of the Abyss. Here we are in the Forged in Fire campaign, which is still the newest. So true. We were at last fighting this Wurgner person, apparently, but this fight's a little tough. I think it's probably, technically doable, but with, better artifacts, because, all my better artifacts are sitting on Henrietta. And B, I think it is time to unite some of these units. The fact we've got these 116 Coatls here, that's a powerful stack, and combined with Resurrection, that can do some good work. So I think that we should have Winona return here with a more powerful army, and that will let us clear that quite well. The question is when and how, because obviously if we can clear some of these other things first, that will allow us to have our movement make a bit more sense. So let's end turn. Of course, the usual shenanigans will be afoot of these guys going to their usual places. That's all well and good. So let's just dump these birds and lizards and flies all back where they belong. We'll grab some storm birds while we're at it. Because, and here's the point, we've got these pirate caverns here, which will allow us to have a source of sea serpents, which if we do that, we can actually use them. So let's get the sea serpents, I think, now while we're here. That way we can have HotA be the one to actually make use of them. We can deliver them to that quest guard. Morale is forbidden. Alright, let's fix that problem, shall we? Oh, they just murdered the marauders. Well, let's just, first battle of the day doesn't count, right? That's always what they tell you. Let's do this with slightly more precision. Move the dragon there. There we go. Behold, it is much easier. With a slightly better positioning. Excellent. So let's grab this pirate cavern. We've already made space. Excellent. We found a pirate cavern. Do you wish to attack the guards? Yes, I shall. Defeat them with no issue whatsoever, and acquire 4 sea serpents, which I shall now add to my inventory. And now these zounds of pirates shall be disposed of as well. Behold! They prove to be a minor inconvenience. We should be able to defeat them without too much trouble, with a mass haste, of course. There we go. Excellent. So let's now take out this pirate cavern. This gives us the remaining 2 sea serpents that we require. Now, unfortunately, we're, 13 movement points short of being able to town portal this turn, which would have been ideal because HotA could have then taken the sea serpents directly to the quest guard. She, of course, has her own mission, which is to gather up magi and enchanters and these pixies and upgrade them. So that all sounds important and fun and meaningful for us here together tonight. But I think it might be still worth it to tarry a moment longer. That's actually quite some distance away, unfortunately. Was it because using the wrong boots? No, apparently not. But we can at least swap the boots for the boots of moving a bit quicker. Excellent. I like the ambient noise next to the pirate cavern. You don't see pirate caverns very often. They're an interesting terrain object that's not normally allowed in template play. Excellent. I think the HotA team's relatively cooled on the whole idea of endless creature banks, so they just haven't made any more, despite the fact there's 2 whole new towns now that don't have a creature bank associated with them, but hey. All is good. Anything else this woman needs to do? No basilisks, no basilisks. Sit there, thank you. So we have Henrietta here, who's got a job of her own. She's going to be landing and catching more of these koalas. So this sort of gives us a bit of a time frame. We're still waiting to get to the seer's hut, get to the town gate, all of that good thing. So I guess we can grab the Magi now, but that sort of implies that we're going to get the pixies as well, doesn't it? Like, they're on the way. And she doesn't have the ability to teleport, but she could just land here, I guess. Well, not directly. The easiest way through is to the subterranean gate, which is, I believe, here. Is it that one? Was it a different subterranean gate? Well, that's probably leading to here, isn't it? I forget where that particular gate links up. Well, we'll find out shortly. Okay, well, you're good. I'm just thinking for movement, it might make more sense to wait until we're ready with the sea serpents, which we shall do. We're not in a massive rush with Aura here. Alright, let's entomb. Stormbirds, of course. Let us storm the birds. Alright. Now we'll, of course, equip the appropriate footwear for this expedition. So, if I want this Orb of Driving Rain as well, it is going to mean having to delay an extra turn. I think I'm okay with that. I want to learn about what's happening here behind this quest card. Probably defeating Wergner, but hey. There's a large number of these Nyx warriors, and I probably don't have good leadership. No, it's neutral. We can be neutral. We're actually fighting on terrain that buffs the luck of neutral creatures. So that's always something. Behold. Although, of course, a dragon is not a neutral creature, as we know. Time to start shooting. There are a large number of Nyx warriors, it has to be said. We must make sure we do not lose units randomly. Okie dokie. Because of course we don't have anything useful like force field, but we can drop quicksand down. Maybe that will help. To be honest, I probably want Bless, so I can actually kill all these things without losing all my ammunition. Let's Bless now. We'll fly up to here. $52 in one shot, don't mind if I do. Oh, they're splitting. Splitting is not acceptable. Who says you can split? Might be time for some more fireworks. Not fireworks, quicksand. Oh yes, look at that. Well, we can always resurrect things, can't we? Time to start rezzing. The quicksand was cute. Basically everything needs rezzing at this point. Alright, Gorgons first. Well done for tanking that, I guess. Another resurrection, please. Having the dragon play in the quicksand? Must be a novel experience for a flying creature. And last but not least, this one here. Defending there with the archers was not appropriate. And there we go. The enemy defeated. And the Orb of Driving Rain is our prize. And what a prize it is. We can cast Frost Ring just that little bit better. That'll be fun. Alright, let's end turn. So what do we have here? Obviously we'll grab the Orb of Driving Rain. That'll be useful. You come across a conjurer who begs to accompany you and your army a while for safety. You agree, and he offers as payment a strange orb of the elements. Ah yes, the orb. This of course is quite useful for the many quests that we have. We have an orb, Pretty sure there's another orb quest. I'm pretty sure you want to do all of them. So, you know, just a thing. Only the green flag may pass here. We can accept this. This is probably more friendly coattles. That leads to the turquoise one-way entrance. I think I'm going to grab them when I come back, though, because otherwise I'm going to have to dismiss troops. So let's leave now. We're going to have to equip our town portal scroll. Like so. And then we'll town portal over to Port Evermore. And we'll then trade with you to hand over the Sea Serpents. Excellent. How's my movement speed going to be here? It's going to be fine. So, Seer's Hut. Well-armed, armour-clad men are sitting near the hut, knights by the look of them. At the sight of strangers, their leader grabs his sword. However, realising you are not a pirate, he returns the blade to its scabbard. "Greetings," he says. "We have come from Enroth on an important mission from the Regent. We have learned that Baron Steed has been spotted on these islands. This nobleman betrayed the Erothian crown, but managed to escape fair retribution by fleeing to Regna. Everyone knows the authorities there would never extradite a criminal, so we had to abandon our plans for a spell. Recently, however, news came that he had left the Pirate Islands and built himself an estate somewhere in this archipelago. He settled here in the company of his new friends. I wouldn't hazard a guess as to what they're up to now, but I bet they aren't exactly atoning for their sins committed to adversity. Astery, I think. I know what that word is, but I don't know how to say it. Typical problem for me. Our lance of knights sailed here a few months ago, and we tried to immediately storm the traitor's fortress. Alas, at the turning point of the battle, the warlock Degdaro and his gang struck at our rear. Steed is a scoundrel, of course, and yet he hasn't stooped as low to conspire of warlocks before. But now he doesn't even have that to his credit either." The knight sighed heavily and shook his head. "We were utterly vanquished, and only a few managed to hide in this odd cave full of feathered serpents. They are strange, frightening creatures, but we don't seem to look like prey to them. Thank the gods for that. Wish we could head home to get help now, but our ship got sunk by a haspid, and now we can't travel to Enroth. Well, worrying about what won't happen is pointless. Let's talk about what can be done. I have something to thank you with if you undertake to act in our stead and dispense justice upon the man who once used to be our fellow knight. I must warn you, however, be very careful. Steed's guard is not limited to pirates and other scum of the earth. Loyal men from his former retinue came from Enroth too. They are not to be trifled with." So, we have another quest. Learning that Steed is still in his fortress, the knight is disappointed. He insists he only expects news of victory from you. So that is why we have to bother killing Steed for a seer's hut. Which is quite an ask, frankly. Like, talk about high expectations. We will, of course, take the coattles and leave. We can do so with a decent amount of movement, which is excellent. We'll just grab these gems and grab these coatls. A group of coatls with a desire for greater glory wish to join you. Do you accept? Yes. We now have 124 coatls, an ever-increasing number. So Reslav wants us to defeat Steed, presumably for something meaningful and significant as a reward. Of course, we need to get to this island anyway, but, you know, this is in our future, unfortunately. Fair enough. Well, now we know. So, Henrietta's going to have to leave. We're going to teleport out, leaving this boat in the way. Doesn't seem very sensible, frankly, but... Do you have scuttleboat? No. I guess that might actually be a problem. I suppose we can have HotA, like... You're already in a boat, yeah. I suppose we can have her land and then summon a boat, maybe? We might have an interesting problem in the future. I don't want it to sail back. It's like another 2 or 3 days just arriving here just to drop the boat off. But maybe that's what's required? Tempo is important. We'll solve our problems in the future. Because there's a future in the past. Get over here. So, let's chat. What do you have for us, Henrietta? We could pass over a number of valuable artifacts to our friend here, Winona, such as the ammunition cart. Unironically, yes. But what the Ring of Life? The Ring of Vitality would be good too. What else will be required? The bow of the sharpshooter will allow those shooters to do good work. Obviously we'll take the coatls. Do I have much work for Henrietta to do in the meantime? Have the sort of judgment that won't increase your attack by much, but everything else improves. Those are just the same thing. I guess it's an interesting point that I should be taking additional troops. So, the dragons are still useful. We'll take them. We'll leave the bounty hunters behind. But we'll take the... should I take the halfling grenadiers? Like, obviously on Henrietta they're going to do amazingly better, but we're sort of uniting our armies at this point. I don't think the automatons and engineers combo is going to be too relevant, and the dreadnoughts belong here as well. So I guess that's the army there. We'll make some room for the bow of the sharpshooter. You're not going to get any benefit from the archery, but you are going to get the benefit from just having the lizards and the grenadiers shooting at full strength. That seems reasonable. Obviously it's going to take a lot of mana to get things done, but you do have Magic Spring nearby at the destination, so that'll be fine there. But we do want some level 1s to tank... I don't want to throw grenadiers overboard to get to that whirlpool. That's going to be a bit unfortunate. I don't think there's much of an alternative, but that's a lot of grenadiers to throw overboard. I guess we lose the dragonflies? That's a lot of dragonflies. Was it the gorgons? Gorgons do such good work, though. Like, just a small stack, so we probably want to bring the gnolls. And just be like, okay... let's just bring like 10 gnolls. Just to expect that some of them are going to fall overboard accidentally on purpose. Alright, so Winona's ready, but now she needs a boat, and not that boat. So Aura needs to actually disengage. So Henrietta can hop in. So Henrietta hops in this boat. So Aura can then summon another boat. Which wasn't the boat that was here. We may have a problem with boats. The first position was better. Summon another boat. Am I sailing from here? Where's the closest whirlpool? Nowhere near. Alright, where is the whirlpool? It's probably sailing from here then, isn't it? That's right, yeah, it's from here. Oh no, I just built a ship at the shipyard here, that's what happened. Yeah, okay. I probably should have cleared these so I could actually just land again without having to go through the whirlpool. That was my mistake. Also, another boat I've just littered around the place. You're going to be summoning a few boats, I think, Hero. At least you can get to that place relatively quickly. The Mudshar, isn't it? Marshank, that's right. Well, let's head down and get another boat. Meanwhile, people are going to have to start jumping into boats to, like, actually make room. Could be a legitimate problem. I think by leaving this boat here, it's going to be an issue in the future. What do I do? Well. Is there another place you can land here? Turn on the grid of destiny. Doesn't appear to be the case. Well then. Yeah, I think that's actually a soft look. Okay. I'm somewhat thinking I have to reload before I teleport it away with Winona and actually clear this area here so we can actually come back. That's the actual answer. Well, that being the case, let's do it. I might even do a bit of off-screening, just to spare you some of the time. So we got there, and we did that. Maybe the next day will be fine. Okay, no, this is actually the save we want. All is well. All we did was just a bit of moving around. Okay. So, we figured out what this quest was, but the boat needs to not stay there. Because we need to come back at some point. So, and because we're moving down here anyway, it actually gives us time to clear the boat properly and get out of here. So, we don't even need to see what this quest is, because now we know what it is. We could just grab the gems, grab the koalas, yes thank you. We can get back in the boat in one turn, that is good, I like that. And we'll hop into the white two-way sea portal and we'll just land there and teleport out. So that's the plan for you. Cool. So, bit of finagling there, but we're getting it. Also, you're meant to go here. We will grab the orb, excellent. We might as well grab the quest guide when we come back. So, let's make sure the right boots are equipped for this movement. Excellent. It's a throng of mighty gorgons. Technically very slightly mismanaged, but I don't think it's going to matter. Let's just proceed to this fight here and do that. So, slow you guys down. Excellent. We'll just move here. Oh, one shot and the bulls fall over. It's quite accommodating of them, really. Let's keep going. Excellent. Now we actually have just enough movement to get into the gold mine, which is actually what I was hoping to do a moment ago, because that means I can actually leave the slow units inside and increase my movement speed for next turn. The dragons are by far and away the fastest unit. Cool. That's already seeming much better. Excellent. Does mean, however, I probably could have done the mage quest and come back, but honestly, that's not a rush on that, so... Alright, Henrietta, in there. Please just land here so we can leave the boat behind, and then we'll teleport out next turn. Excellent. Damacon's adventures are complete. Alright, grab your units, please, Winona. Alright, so we should be able to do this and then teleport out this turn. The correct boots need to be equipped, of course. There we are, plenty of movement. 3,000 movement points, that is many movement points. Alright. We will not pursue if you're not needing to be pursued. What about you? You do need to be pursued and attacked. Because you're not running away in the first place. Ah yes. The underground sky. Excellent. Always a good staple. So there are a number of Chaos Hydras. Some of them are even happy. The happiest of Chaos Hydras. Be wary of those. Oh, we can kill these. That's fine. So let's bless. Make sure our archers are killing a stack every single turn. Alright, everyone fall back. There we go. All is well so far. We might need to run bravely away soon. Like these serpents are doing. Might be time for a mass haste soon. But now you can run here. And you can run here. And you can just cower in the center. It's a good cowering. Mind you killed 25 in one go yourself. Guess you could stay there and help. It's a lot of basilisks, really. Yeah, I mean, you might as well. You don't even lose one, so why not, eh? Even the dragon gets to have a turn. Isn't that nice? Let's shoot these ones. There we go. 157 Chaos Hydras casually dealt with, but this opens the way for future boats to land here without having to go through a million whirlpools. We could just buy a ship here, set sail, move happily into the sunset. We could have even landed Henrietta's boat here, but I didn't. Never mind, we can afford another boat. Let's teleport out, shall we? This time, we're actually doing it properly. We do have one of those orbs of driving rain, which is excellent, so off to Port Evandor. Let's now deliver the sea serpents properly this turn. And next turn we can have Henrietta join us, and that will be lovely. In the meantime, where are you landing from? You will be taking off from Marshank soon. It's probably fine to teleport there and start the route. Do you want to grab some reinforcements before we go, though? Because we could. Like, the enemy's going to get reinforcements, so we might as well get reinforcements too, right? So, dragons, maybe? There's a rust dragon there. Any sea serpents here? dragonflies. We are going to bring them now. So let's go to all the various towns and grab reinforcements. Excellent. Then we teleport over to Drakenmoor. We'll get these upgraded. Excellent. More troops. More lizard warriors. Almost at 1,000 now. That's going to be excellent. We'll also grab these as well. Let's teleport over to Marshank and grab those extra Gorgons. Over to Mudshire and grab these. Well, not Gorgons. I suppose we can run and grab those. Let's always do things on dragons, of course. Got the correct booties. Move over here. Swap to the other booties. And there we're good. So you now have sea serpents. Why don't you sail here and see what's in here? That'll be a nice little mystery solved, eh? So it turns out Steed does need killing. It wasn't just a silly thing. Well, all these weeks hanging about here haven't even seen a fry, and here you are the whole brood in tow. Get him over here, and we'll wind up the tackle. The Nyx bellows excitedly. Would you like to sail through towards the portal? Yes. And we're just short of the Pandora's box. Well, we may never know what's in that box, unless we enter in. Oh yes, month of the ant. We're running out of time. Let's carry on. Well, let's not beat around the bush any longer. What's in the box? Do you wish to open the box? +2 defense and spell power. I don't know if I want HotA to grab that. I probably want Winona to grab that, frankly. So, let's not do that. But good to know, because we'll be picking that up very soon with one of our heroes of might and magic. Excellent. Oh, it's a different month now too. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for watching. When we come back next time, more Heroes of Might and Magic 3.